Welcome to the digital learning platform. Course BCom second sem, subject financial accounting, topic hire purchase system. In this part of hire purchase system, we will be looking at the journal entries in the books of hire purchaser and in the books of hire vendor. And we will also look at the ledger accounts which are to be prepared in the books of hire purchaser and hire vendor. First, journal entries in the books of hire purchaser. In the books of hire purchaser, there are 6 journal entries. And out of these 6 journal entries, the first 2 entries which are there will be made only in the first year. And the remaining journal entries from number 3 to number 6 over here, they will be repeated every year till the last installment is paid. So we'll look at the journal entries. First one, when the contract is made between hire purchaser and hire vendor, at that time the first journal entry will be made wherein the advance becomes due. So the journal entry will be asset account debit to vendor's account with the amount of advance. Then once the advance is due, the hire purchaser will make the payment of advance. So we have the second journal entry, vendor's account debit to cash account, again with the amount of advance. The third journal entry is when the installment amount becomes due. So the journal entry is asset account debit, interest account debit to vendor's account. So here asset account will be debited with the amount of principal payable in the current year, interest account with the interest payable in the current year. To vendor's account means here it will show the total installment amount, that is principal plus interest for that year will be the installment amount of the current year. Next one, when the installment is paid. So when installment is paid, the journal entry is vendor's account debit to cash account. This is with the amount of installment. Next, when the depreciation is provided, the hire purchaser who is using the asset will be providing depreciation on the asset. So when depreciation is provided, the journal entry is depreciation account debit to asset account with the current year's depreciation. And the last journal entry is for transfer of interest and depreciation. So interest paid by the hire purchaser and depreciation charged on the asset, both are expenses for the hire purchaser. So these amounts will be debited to the profit and loss account. So the journal entry is profit and loss account debit to interest account to depreciation account. So current year's interest and current year's depreciation, the total amount will be debited to profit and loss account. These are the 6 journal entries in the books of hire purchaser. Next, in the books of hire vendor, the first journal entry is when hire purchase agreement is signed. So here the hire vendor, he will be treating the agreement or transaction as a sale made. So the journal entry is hire purchaser's account debit to sales account. So here he will be debiting the account with the total cash price of the asset. He is treating it as a sale, so he is debiting the account with the total cash price of the asset. Next one, when the advance is received. After making the agreement, the hire purchaser will make the payment of advance to the vendor. So the journal entry will be cash account debit to hire purchaser account with the amount of advance received. Next one, with when the interest becomes due, that is at the end of the year when the interest is due, the journal entry will be hire purchaser account debit to interest account with the amount of current year's interest. Next, the installment received by the hire vendor, the journal entry will be cash account debit to hire purchaser account with the amount of installment. And the last one, when the interest is transferred. Here for the higher vendor, interest is the income, so profit and loss account is credited. Interest account debit to profit and loss account with the current year's interest. In higher vendor's account, there are 5 journal entries, out of which the first 2 entries will come or will be made only in the first year. The remaining 3 entries are to be repeated every year till the last installment is paid. We'll have a look at one question. So in this question, the cash price of the asset is given 37,240. 10,000 is payable as an advance and the balance in 3 equal installments of rupees 10,000 each. The interest rate is also given 5%, and it is said that depreciation at 10% per annum is provided on a reducing balance method. So in reducing balance method, every year the interest will be calculated on the value which is written down, and if it is straight line method, every year same amount of depreciation will be charged. The calculation of interest same as we had done in the hire purchase system. As we have done in the previous parts of hire purchase system. In this question, the cash price is less than the hire purchase price, so the interest amount is included in the installments. So this is the way we have to do the calculation. Beginning of the year, the advance paid 10,000. When advance is paid, interest will not be calculated, interest will not be paid. So the principal amount is 10,000. Balance of cash price is 27,240. Then at the end of the first year, installment of 10,000 is paid, out of which we have to calculate the interest. Interest will be calculated on balance of cash price. So we get the interest at rupees 1,362. So installment minus interest, we get the principal amount. In the same way, we will calculate it for the remaining years also. The last year interest is calculated as a difference between installment amount and balance of cash price. After doing this calculation, we'll have to calculate the depreciation to be provided. At the beginning of the year, the cash price of the asset is 37,240. On this cash price of the asset, we will calculate the depreciation at 10%. So at the end of the first year, depreciation charged is 3,724. This is the first year's depreciation. So the balance which we will remain after providing depreciation is 37,240 minus 3,724. The balance remaining is 33,516. From this balance, at the end of the second year, again depreciation will have to be calculated on this particular balance. So the depreciation is 3,352. So second year's depreciation 3,352. After charging this depreciation, the balance which remains is 30,164. At the end of the third year, depreciation will be charged on this particular balance remaining. So depreciation of third year is 3,016. After reducing this depreciation, the balance remaining is 27,148. So we'll look at the journal entries in the books of hire purchaser. So in the beginning of the year, when the agreement is made, the advance becomes due. So the journal entry is asset account debit to vendor's account with the amount of advance which is due. Then on the same date, 1st January 2010, the advance is being paid to the vendor. So journal entry, vendor's account debit to cash account with the amount of advance paid. Then at the end of the year, the installment amount becomes due. So the journal entry is asset account debit with the amount of principal. See here the principal amount. So we are taking the principal amount over here. Interest account debit with the amount of first year's interest to vendor's account, that is total installment amount. The first year's installment 10,000. Next, journal entries for when installment is paid by the purchaser to the vendor. So vendor's account is debited to cash account with the amount of installment. Next one, depreciation is charged on the asset. So the journal entry is depreciation account debit to asset account with the first year's depreciation. And the last journal entry in the first year is profit and loss account debit to depreciation account to interest account. That is, the interest and depreciation are being transferred to profit and loss account. So depreciation amount of first year was 3,724. Interest of first year was 1,362. So total is debited over here 5,086. So till here we made the first year's journal entry. 6 journal entries have been made for the first year. Now from your second year's journal entry, which will begin from the journal entry where installment becomes due. The first 2 journal entries will not be made in the second year. So here asset account debit with the principal of second year, interest account debit, interest of second year to vendor's account, that is the installment of the second year. Next, the installment being paid. So journal entry is vendor's account debit to cash account 10,000 and 10,000. Again depreciation is charged in the second year. So same journal entry, depreciation account debit to asset account. Second year's depreciation 3,352, 3,352. And the last one, when depreciation and interest is transferred to profit and loss account. Depreciation amount 3,352, interest amount 30. So total amount transferred to profit and loss account is 4,282. So these are the 4 journal entries which will be repeated every year till the last installment is paid. So it will be again repeated for the third year. First, when the installment is due. Next, when installment is paid. Next one, depreciation charged. And last, when depreciation and interest is transferred to profit and loss account. Based on these journal entries, we will have to prepare the accounts in the books of hire purchaser. First account, asset account in the books of hire purchaser. So here the first entry will come on debit side. 1st January 2010, the entry is to vendors account. To vendors account 10,000. This is when the advance amount becomes due. So to vendors account 10,000. Then at the end of the year, when the installment becomes due, the journal entry was asset account debit, interest account debit to vendors account. So here we are writing to vendors account with the amount of principal. We are writing only the principal amount over here. So first entry is for advance due, second entry is for the principal amount which is due. Then at the end of the first year, depreciation was charged, so entry will come on credit side by depreciation account, the amount of depreciation in the first year. So here debit side is more 18,638. Difference will have to be transferred on credit side. So by balance carried down 14,914. This balance will be brought down in the second year. So on 1st January 2011, two balance brought down 14,914. Again at the end of the second year, the principal amount becomes due. So to vendors account 9,070. Depreciation is charged at the end of the second year. So by depreciation account 3,352. Again debit side is more, so difference will be transferred on credit side. By balance carried down 20,632. This amount is again brought down to the next year. So in the third year, principal amount due to vendors account 9,532. Depreciation charged entry will come on credit side. Last year's depreciation 3,016. So the balance carried down is 27,148. So in the asset account, debit side, we will make the entry for amount which is due. First, the advance due, it will come only in the first year, and for the remaining years, the principal amounts which are due will be entered. And on credit side, we'll make the entry for depreciation which is charged on the asset. Next, vendors account. Vendors account will begin from the credit side. Vendors account will begin from the credit side because to the hire purchaser, vendor is a liability, means he has to make payment to the hire vendor. So this account begins from the credit side over here. First entry on 1st January 2010 by asset account. This is for the advance which is due. At the beginning of the year, the advance is due towards the vendor. So by asset account 10,000. Once the advance is due, this advance is paid by the paid to the vendor. So again on the 1st January 2010 to cash account 10,000, it means the advance paid to the hire vendor. Next, at the end of the first year, the entry again will come on credit side. On 31st 12 2010 by asset and interest account, means it is for the installment amount which is due. So the entry is by asset and interest account, principal amount and interest amount 10,000. So when the installment is due at the end of the year, it is paid also at the end of the year. So 31st 12 2010 to cash account with the amount of installment. In the next year, we don't have any advance due or advance to be paid. So directly with the amount of installment due on 31st 12 2011 by asset and interest, that is principal amount plus interest, here 10,000, and on the same date the payment will be made. So to cash account 10,000. In the last year also again installment amount becomes due. So by asset and interest account 10,000. This installment which is due will be paid on the same date. So to cash account 10,000. So in vendors account, credit side we are writing the amounts which are due. Debit side we are making the entry for payment made to the vendor. Next, depreciation account. Depreciation account, the entries will come on the end of the year 31st 12 2010. The first entry on debit side to asset account, that is when the depreciation is provided or charged on the asset. So first year's depreciation 3,724. This depreciation account amount will be transferred to the profit and loss account. So by profit and loss account 3,724. Again in the second year, it will be debited with the amount of depreciation of second year, and then it will be transferred to profit and loss account. Same thing in the last year, debit the depreciation account with the amount of depreciation of third year, and then this amount is to be transferred to profit and loss account. Last, the interest account. 31st 12 2010, the interest becomes due 1,362. This interest amount is an expense to the purchaser, so it will be then transferred to the profit and loss account 1,362. In the second year again, when the interest is payable 930, this interest amount is then transferred to profit and loss account. Same way it has to be repeated for remaining years also. So these were the accounts prepared in the books of hire purchaser. Next we'll look at journal entries in the books of hire vendor and accounts in the books of hire vendor. So first entry, when the hire purchase agreement is made, the journal entry is X Limited account to sales account. X Limited, that is the hire purchasers account, debited to sales account with the total cash price of the asset being goods sold on hire purchase to X Limited. So after this entry, the next entry is for when the advance is paid received from the hire purchaser. So cash account debit to X Limited account with the amount of advance. Next journal entry is when interest becomes due. The hire vendor is expecting interest from the hire purchaser, so interest has become due. Journal entry is X Limited account debit to interest account with the first year's interest. Then the next entry is for installment received from the purchaser. So journal entry is cash account debit to X Limited account being first installment received from X Limited with the amount of installment 10,000. The next journal entry is for transfer of interest to profit and loss account. It is a income to the vendor, so it will be transferred on credit side of profit and loss account. So interest account debit to profit and loss account. Here these two first entries comes or is made only in the first year. The remaining three entries are to be repeated for next years also. So again, at the end of second year, interest becomes due. So journal entry is X Limited account debit to interest account with the amount of interest in the second year. Then when the installment is paid, cash account debit to X Limited account with the amount of installment. Next, when the interest is transferred to profit and loss account, interest account debit to profit and loss account. Interest of second year 930. Similarly, we'll make the entries in the third year also. So based on this, we'll prepare two accounts. First one, X Limited account, that is the hire purchaser. So in the books of hire vendor, the purchaser account begins from the debit side. At the beginning of the year, 1st January 2010, we have to debit the account to sales account. So the hire purchase arrangement is treated as a sales. So entry is to sales with the total cash price of the asset 37,240. Out of this 37,240, in the first year how much payment is made? So on 1st January 2010 by cash account, this is for the advance payment received. So by cash account 10,000. Then at the end of the year, interest becomes due. So when the interest is due, entry on debit side to interest account, first year's interest 1,362. Again at the end of the first year, installment was received. So 31st/12/2010 by cash account with the amount of installment which is received. So here debit side is more, credit side is less, hence difference will be coming on credit side 18,602. So this amount will be brought down in the next year. In the next year there is a interest due 930. So total due amount 19,532. Out of this amount, how much is paid in the current year? By cash account 10,000 is paid. So how much is the balance remaining? 9,532. So again this balance will be brought down. There is interest amount which is due 468. So total due amount 10,000. At the end of the third year, third installment is paid of rupees 10,000. So total payment received by the end of third year. So in the books of hire vendor, the hire purchaser account, it will be debited with the amount which are to be received, and credit side all the entries when payment is received will be made. So here to sales means the hire vendor has to receive 37,240 from X Limited. Then he also has to receive the interest from X Limited 1,362. Same year he is receiving two payments, 10,000 advance, 10,000 installment amount. So the balance in the first year 18,602. So in the second year he had to receive 18,602. To that again interest becomes due 930. So total payment he needs to receive 19,532. But in the second year how much is he receiving? The installment amount 10,000. Again balance remains 9,532. So in the third year 9,532 will be brought down. To that again interest of 468 has to be received. So total payment to be received 10,000, and in the third year installment amount paid is 10,000. So total payment is received by the end of third year. The next account is interest account. Here when the interest becomes due, entry will come on credit side 31st/12/2010. First year's interest 1,362. This account will be closed by transferring it to profit and loss account. Same procedure in the second year. When it is due, entry is on credit side 930, then transferred to profit and loss account. Same for the third year. 468 interest of the third year will then be transferred to profit and loss account. Thank you.